Hey YouTube, part 2 of the Fender Jazzmaster in Capri Orange. Part of the Player series made in Mexico. This one, so it's a 21, so it's brand new, so it's still on the 2021, so it's still on the website. Yeah, so I had this in for getting the pickup swapped and to add a push-pull coil split on the tone. I didn't bother adding push-pull coil split on the tone because I already had one. I just never thought of looking. Now I did the owner, so that's not too bad. So it's still got, instead of being upgraded to having a coil split, it's still got a coil split. It just gives you the white coils. So it kind of looks pretty cool having the zebras, because the black ones kind of disappear. The black coils kind of disappear in against the body, so it looks a bit odd, kind of a bit cool 60s, I think. So this is a bare knuckle something and an iron gear something as well, which I probably mentioned in the last video. I have lowered the bridge a little bit. The setup wasn't actually bad, just the bridge was a little bit high. And thanks to Blacktooth Fox, I looked up the Jazzmaster bridge to try and work out, thinking there must be some way that tremolo arm can't have been meant to be there. And basically, as Blacktooth Fox said, someone sat on it at some point. And you know, I don't know if it's getting posted or something like that. So basically all I did was I just kind of stood on it and just kind of bent it open a wee bit. It was actually really easy to bend. So I don't know if it's maybe, that's probably why it bent in the first place. But now, just having a bit more of an angle on it, it now goes over the bridge and it doesn't interfere with the knobs or the bridge. So I don't think there was necessarily anything broken with it. I think it's just been sat on or something. So give it a bit of a wiggle and then I'll give it a bit of a tune, seeing as these strings have just been tuned back up again, so they're probably not going to hold for very long. It is a floaty bridge, so I mean you can expect I should really have waited another couple of minutes, like I always say in the videos, but hey, not done it. I didn't wait long enough. So this is a really powerful pickup. The iron gear is like a pure sledgehammer, and I think this is a sort of vintagey spec bare knuckle, so there is a bit of a volume disbalance. Not too bad actually. But I've kind of got this one really quite low and this one quite high to try and compensate for the fact the two. So, and it's coil splittable to the bridge. Neck split. Oh yeah. As you can see, you can now operate the tremolo arm wherever you want it. It doesn't have to be between the bridge. The volume control. I like the way it's actually called. What I've still not done is I need to go in and take off the stupid plastic you get. You know, they wrap the scratch plate in plastic, then put the knobs on, so it's got annoying bits of straggly plastic running about the knobs on. I need to do that. I might not even bother doing that. It's not my guitar. That's not a difficult thing to do. Take the knob off, run around it with the edge of a Stanley knife, stick the knob back on again. Easy. I can't be bothered taking the scratch plate off. That was really annoying doing the work for this one. Well, one of the things is you have to, because he's got a fretboard overhang. I don't know if they originally would have had the 22 frets, but because the fretboard overhangs the scratch plate, you have to take the neck off to get the scratch plate off. Which, to be fair, only takes 30 seconds. Just like quick with a drill, zip, 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 zip. Take the scratch, unclip the scratch plate, zip, 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 zip. But it's still an annoying thing. That's one of the reasons I'm not that keen on working on Strats as much as something like like a telly, because all the electrics are in there. So okay, if you've got to change the pickup, you've got to take it to bits. But if you've just got to mess about with the electrics, in a Strat, you've got to take the whole scratch plate off and all that. Whereas in an SG or a Les Paul or a telly, you can just get at. You know, you can literally have the pickups in and then poke the wires when the guitar's still in tune, which is better for messing about. If you're going to wire something up wrong, I didn't wire up anything wrong on it right first time. I managed to retain the 2 screws adjustment. I did that by cutting up a piece of, I don't have that piece there's only a piece, the aluminium 2mm dirt bar stuff I used to make the surround on that pickup. I basically just cut a couple of wee offcuts. It's quite a soft aluminium, so what I did was I just drilled a hole that was slightly smaller than the 2 screws. There were 3 holes, basically a wee bar with 3 holes in it, and one with a wee scratch plate screw screwing it onto the pickup, and then the 2 holes to take the 2 screws. So these are not 3 hole pickups, but there's a wee adapter thing. Actually, the owner Ian sent me a link to say you could buy them. I think it was like 7 quid or something. But you have to wait for that stuff, so I've done it anyway. Apart from that, there's not really any problems with it at all, apart from the tremolo arm just needing a little bit bent out. It was really, as I said, I have already mentioned it was quite easy to bend though, which was a little bit worrying. But then again, I suppose it means if the tremolo arm bends, aye, okay, it's like basically if you do stand on this or squash it, the tremolo arm bends. Whereas if you made the tremolo arm too rigid, it might damage the bridge. So this way you just bend the tremolo arm back, or if you do, if it snaps or whatever, you're buying another tremolo bar, which is obviously dead easy to fix rather than having to replace a part of the bridge that would snap. So it's not a sacrificial piece, but you know what I mean, like a sacrificial anode and a boat engine you put on a piece of metal that's going to rust, because something's going to rust. So the more it rusts, the stuff around about it doesn't rust because it's rusted. Being technical about it's about electrons and stuff. That's not the same. I'll stop along that avenue of not making sense. Yeah, so got a neck pickup now. Well, now we know there's a push-pull part, which was already there. Both of them. Oh yeah. Humbucker's bridge. governor pedal got a distortion. So the reason these pickups got upgraded was because the owner said that found them a bit lacking definition was the word to use. Said they actually sounded quite good when you had them in a mix, like after he'd recorded stuff. But when he was actually recording it, he found that they were just a bit lacking clarity, which might be something to do with maybe they're trying to make the humbucker sound a bit more like an original Jazzmaster. Although it's one of those things that maybe, one of the things that makes a Jazzmaster sound will be the fact that it's a bit bigger and it's got this tremolo on it and stuff like that. I did say Jazzmaster, not Jaguar, didn't I? Yes. Yeah, so I mean, it's pretty good. Nice guitar. I would probably made a comment, it's Capri Orange. It was the guy commented in the video part 1, and I was like, no, my Capri was black. I did actually have a Capri, but you did get orange ones. I believe it was not Daytona yellow was one of the other colours. I remember seeing one in Bishopton, a 3-litre Capri, and it was orange, and it kind of looked like, I don't know, I think it had a turbo on it as well or something like that. But it's like Capris. I wish they'd make cars like that again. They're dangerous as hell. I mean, I spun it out a couple of times, like at pure slow speed. It's rear wheel drive. And mine was only the 1.6. They did have a Weber carburetor on it, so it just when you floored it, it went, and it was like crazy cars to drive. If you ever get a shot of Capri, maybe it doesn't work. Maybe a bit more American cars like that. But this was rear wheel drive, big engine at the front, and you didn't so much steer around the corners like you do in every other car I've ever driven. You kind of pointed the bonnet where you wanted to go. That makes sense? Because you were so far away from the front wheels, it was kind of like that, as opposed to being now when you drive, you just go, oh, go left. Whereas this one was like, oh, you want to go left? And then you followed it. amazing car. Fantastic fun just having that pure ridiculous ability to power slide, like, you know, like they do in racetracks and stuff, but not like Top Gear. They do power slides and stuff with Ferraris and stuff, but this is like, you know, I'm power sliding round corners at 25 mile an hour like that, pure, pure turning into the skid and stuff like that. It's actually quite a lot of fun. Can't do that with a Panda. Yeah, no, but lovely guitar. I do like this colour. He's also got a Mustang bass. I changed the pickups in it at one point before as well. I think it's a Mustang. Mustang. Geosonic bass. Music Master bass. No, I think it's a Mustang bass. It's got a white scratch plate, so it's not quite the exact match of this, but I think the black and the orange works. It kind of reminds. It actually was there not a thing in the 70s before I was born, where you would get like a matte black bonnet on your car. So you'd have like a Daytona yellow or a Capri orange Capri or a Escort, and you'd have a matte black bonnet on it just to look cool, or a vinyl roof perhaps. Yeah, but fun guitar. I'm not so keen on the bridge. I don't think the tremolo arm. It's like, to be honest, I'm only relatively recently sort of getting into using the tremolo at all, and even not that very much, but I keep having guitars where the trem bar's a different place. I think if I had less guitars, I mean, even if, you know, if I'm talking about comparing two Strats, it's like the tremolo arm's never quite in the right place, so every time I've ever used a guitar that's a tremolo on it, it's always a case of trying to find the bar, because it's in a different place and it works slightly differently and all. And this one, because it levers here, it's got a funny sort of wobbly Bigsby-ness to it, which I don't really get. I think it does affect the tension in the strings, because see when you bend, especially high up, you have to bend the string an awful lot further to get to the note I'm used to. Like, I'm bending that up what would normally be like 3 notes, but it's only going up 2. Because I think the because there's this extra piece of string on it, it affects the tension or the bendiness of the strings. I used to use the word bendiness, and I can't technically be wrong. So I did say there, it does have a Ferrero Rocher fingerboard. That's why it looks kind of a bit. What used to be back in the day, you could kind of, actually one of the reasons I never bought any rosewood fingerboard guitars when I was in China was because it kind of tended to look a bit like that. You know, like crappy rosewood looks like this part of it. This isn't all powdery, but the really crappy rosewood is like powdery, and it was like, I didn't want that. Plus, it was also a CITES thing. Not that I paid any importing license at all. I just stole them. Well, they were for me. Just because I decided to sell them later on doesn't mean that it was a business venture. Yeah, fret jobs maybe a little bit on the sharp side as well. It's like, I don't know, it's not my guitar. I don't. No, obviously it's a much more desirable colour and shape, and it's got the badge on the front than like my Fuji Gen, which is kind of, well, that's just now it's for sale, and maybe I'll get some money off Lee Anderton because I've mentioned it. That's where I looked it up. It's on clearance just now at $550, which is actually more than the RRP of that one. Fret job on that's better. But it's very, very nice. If you're into the Jazzmaster thing, I'm non-committed to whether I like it or not. I like the Jazzmaster. This is a nice guitar. Quite a lot has to do with the colour, but I can't decide whether I like Jazzmasters or not, or Jaguars. They're kind of, which I suppose is the point, they're different. Oh, I wonder if there's been any sound in this video at all. I've just noticed my mic was actually pointing at the sky there. Oh, bugger, I have to do this video again. I probably won't. You'll probably just have to turn the volume up a little bit because I'm real lazy. But awesome guitar. That's your guitar done. Ian, if I was a bit cleverer, I would actually have filmed you when you got it back to see what you think. Unfortunately, I also had known about the coil split, and the action thing was just a case of just loading the bridge a little bit, just to get it. It was only, I'm pretty sensitive to these things. Just when it's just a millimetre too high, it's just like, nah. Got to be right. Rock on, catch you later.